directly. Dr. Ford, with what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
Delays Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination approval in the wake of UNC alumna Christine Blasey Ford's allegations of sexual assault.
Swarms of these mega mosquitoes are popping up across eastern North Carolina. So just how dangerous are they?
And a well-known comedian is helping out victims of Hurricane Florence in a very unusual way. That's coming up.
The UNC School of Media and Journalism, connecting Carolina's campus and community. This is Carolina Week.
Good afternoon and welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Peyton Walker.
And I'm Brighton McConnell. Let's get right into our top story. Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court nomination continues to hang in limbo.
The FBI's investigation of Kavanaugh could conclude as early as today. A couple of key players have ties to North Carolina. Christine Blasey Ford, a UNC alumna, is accusing Kavanaugh of sexual assaulting her 36 years ago. Kavanaugh took center stage in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee Thursday, fiercely denying the allegations. The tense and emotional committee hearing resulted in an FBI investigation into the sexual assault allegations. Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell promised to hold Kavanaugh's confirmation vote by the end of this week, but many senators say they don't want to vote unless the FBI has completed a thorough investigation. Kavanaugh's emotional response seem to bring greater uncertainty rather than clarity for senators on whether to approve Kavanaugh's nomination.
Character matters deeply. Anyone who watched the Judiciary Committee hearing on Thursday should have serious, if not disqualifying, doubts about Judge Kavanaugh's credibility and independence.
The testimony you're about to give before this committee.
Also part of that investigation, an NC State history professor, Chad Ludington, who lives in Carrboro, says he spoke to the FBI about Kavanaugh's drunken behavior when they were classmates at Yale. He says he felt Kavanaugh distorted the truth in the committee hearings.
I can unequivocally say that in denying the possibility that he ever blacked out from drinking and in downplaying the degree and frequency of his drinking, Brett has not told the truth. I felt it was my civic duty to tell of my experience.
Now, there's no word yet when the FBI investigation will wrap up. Senator Mitch McConnell says the FBI's report will not be made public. Democrats are pushing for public release of the information.
Hurricane Florence may be long gone, but you're probably still feeling the effects. Literally, we're talking about mosquitoes. You can see in the picture here posted by Jennings Wright, this type of mosquito is called a galley nipper, and they can actually grow to the size of wasps. The damp environment after the storm created a perfect breeding ground for these kinds of pests. Residents have described them as bloodthirsty and aggressive, and their sting can feel like something is stabbing you. Governor Roy Cooper ordered $4 million to be spent on mosquito control in counties listed as hurricane disaster areas. State health officials say the big mosquitoes might look scary, but they're no more dangerous than the little ones.
North Carolina lawmakers unanimously approved disaster relief legislation on Tuesday as part of the Hurricane Florence recovery effort. Here are some of the highlights. Now, schools in seriously affected districts will forgive up to 20 days of absences, and the voter registration deadline will be pushed back to October 15th. This gives voters in polling places more time to prepare for the election.
UNC has been working on a recovery plan of its own. Chancellor Folt and the Board of Trustees have announced the creation of an emergency fund for students severely affected by Hurricane Florence. The $2 million fund is available for any UNC student and their families to help with school expenses such as textbooks, food, or travel costs. Folt says half of the money will come from the university's sale of licensed items, while the other half will be coming from private donations. Students looking to use the emergency fund can stop by the Student Success Hub in the Union for more information.
Late night TV host Stephen Colbert is helping hurricane victims in an offbeat way.
Well, the joke's on us, because now it's a real, actual book. Whose boat is this boat?
Colbert's children's book is a satirical take on comment Trump made to Florence survivor who had a yacht wash up in his yard. Trump said, quote, "At least you got a nice boat out of the deal." Colbert says proceeds from the book will be donated to Hurricane Florence relief organizations.
Midterm elections aren't always on the forefront of college students' mind, but in a very hot political climate, the pressure is on to get young people to the polls. Reporter Madison Forsey joins us live from Chapel of the Cross on Franklin Street, which will be the closest polling place to campus. Madison.
Brighton, there's still time to register to vote, but that time could be running out very soon, and these midterm elections are much more important than people might think. Right now, there are 120 seats in the North Carolina House of Representatives that are up for election, along with the 50 seats in the North Carolina Senate. On a national level in Washington, all North Carolinians live in one of the 13 districts that are up for election this November. Now, right now, you have until October 12th to register to vote, and there have been students all over campus that are helping other students get registered. Early voting starts here at Chapel of the Cross on Wednesday, October 17th. If you want to vote in your home district, you're going to have to fill out an absentee ballot. All voter registration by mail is due by October 12th. Brighton.
Madison Forsey live from Chapel of the Cross on Franklin Street. Thanks, Madison.
It's official. Charlotte will host the 2020 Republican National Convention. The Charlotte City Council was divided on approving their bid, but it passed with a 6-5 vote in July. The convention will be held at the Spectrum Center, which is the same site the Democratic Party used for their 2012 convention. That event brought in nearly $160 million of revenue for Charlotte. They're hoping the RNC will help do the same for the economy in 2020.
Tess, it's been a beautiful day so far.
What can we expect for the rest of the day?
It is beautiful outside right now, and we're looking for the rest of the afternoon to look just as nice. So temperatures are a little hot, but will likely cool down later tonight. So it is 85 degrees outside. It feels a little warmer than that, more like 88. The high is coming in around 86. Temperatures will cool down this evening with some cloud coverage. Let's take a look outside and see how it looks. So beautiful blue skies, slight cloud coverage. Things are looking great. High dew points and high temperatures, so that'll make for some high humidity. We'll talk more about that later with our full Franklin Street forecast.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to light. Built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Okay, we still don't have... The cat's out of the bag.
That's right. Cattails Cafe on West Franklin Street will be here soon. The space is still being renovated, but once open, the cafe will serve up special treats you can enjoy while hanging out with 12 adoptable cats. Co-owner and manager Katie Portress says they hope to open in November. The cafe cats will be coming from Goat House Refugee, a nonprofit no-kill animal sanctuary in Pittsboro. Portress says they'll be taking online reservations because they can expect the cat cafe to be very busy.
We're still in the middle of the permit process, so no promises, as we say.
You can follow Cattails on social media for the latest details about the official opening.
When it comes to dogs, they can be lots of things. Cute, fluffy, little, or big. But as reporter Natalie Harden shows us, when it comes to service dogs, it's all about obedience and their love to serve.
These may look like regular golden retrievers to someone passing by, but Shaw and Hunter are a lot more than the average pups. Kaylee Miller has trained them since birth.
And I fell in love with it instantly. I love dogs, always have. Shaw is going to be working in the UNC Chapel Hill Pediatric Oncology Department, so she's going to have a lot of exposure to a bunch of kids.
Shaw is trained to comfort children that are undergoing treatments. She's taught to cuddle, hug, and comfort, along with just to supply love and support.
Dogs just have this presence about them that can just help transform anyone's day.
Margaret Schroeder knows firsthand the difference a comfort dog can make. Her dog Bo helps her relieve stress and comfort her.
Coming home and just seeing like his butt wag, like when he sees me, just seeing him like light up, that's just something that it's an important part of my day, and it's a great way to like end a stressful day. And
Schroeder says there is an unfortunate stigma around comfort dogs, that they are just pets and not a real necessity for their owners.
Animals don't get enough credit for their intelligence, and so I think like, yeah, it may not be necessary for you, but it means the world of difference to a lot of people. I think people need to see that it's not just a dog, it's not just another responsibility, it's a life, and it honestly becomes a part of you.
In Chapel Hill, Natalie Harden, Carolina Week.
Now, you might only think of service dogs as helping those with visible disabilities, but more and more dogs are being used to help those with disabilities that aren't visible, such as diabetes and autism.
It's that time of the semester. Midterms are approaching, and many students are now feeling the stress that comes with being a college student. Well, in addition to schoolwork, a certain group of UNC students also have to deal with cultural adjustment. Here's Carolina Week reporter Georgina Ray.
I am one of 139 student exchanges here at UNC this year. I'm from London, but people come from all across the world for the Tar Heel experience. I asked other exchanges what they're missing from home, but also what's making UNC so special.
We've had people left, right and centre just wanting to help us out, and that's been really good. It's put us at ease.
I didn't realise how much my social life was dependent on pubs and alcohol until I came here and couldn't sit in a pub or drink easily.
Also, we've all learnt that UNC has a very good work ethic, and some of us are struggling to keep up to standard.
School so far here has been very intense, and it's very like you have to attend everything.
Yeah, I feel like if I miss a class, I'm going to fall behind. And that kind of pressure reminds me of school a little bit as opposed to college.
On the flip side, about 2,000 UNC students travel to other countries to study each year. Tess, I know many international students haven't seen temps this hot in October. When is it going to cool down?
It is beautiful outside right now, and we're looking for the rest of the afternoon to look just as nice. So temperatures are a little hot, but will likely cool down later tonight. So it is 85 degrees outside. It feels a little warmer than that, more like 88. The high is coming in around 86. Temperatures will cool down this evening with some cloud coverage. Let's take a look outside and see how it looks. So beautiful blue skies, slight cloud coverage. Things are looking great. High dew points and high temperatures, so that'll make for some high humidity. We'll talk more about that later with our full Franklin Street forecast.
For the past 20 years, Carrboro has hosted a music festival, and this year was no exception. The hot temperatures couldn't keep the community away. Hundreds showed up to the two-day Carrboro Music Festival at Carrboro Town Commons. The event kicked off with 3 bands on Saturday and featured 200 different acts on Sunday. Performers showcased a variety of music styles, giving them an opportunity to play for a wider audience.
Local residents are having their say in a national short film competition. The Manhattan Short started about 20 years ago in New York City and is now a highly anticipated event at the Art Center in Carrboro. The National Festival, which is shown in 70 cities across the country, features 9 short films over 3 nights. Viewers get a chance to vote on their favorites. The results are then sent back to the national panel, which adds up all the votes and announces the winners.
We talk about like bringing a world of music and bringing a world of art right into the heart of Carrboro.
And Manhattan Short is a really great way to do that because you're seeing films by filmmakers from all around the world, all different styles, and there's not a lot of places where you can find that in the Triangle.
The Manhattan Short Festival will kick off the Art Center in Carrboro on Thursday.
To celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, UNC welcomed a well-known Puerto Rican artist to campus. Reporter Natasha Laguerra has the story.
His name is Edgardo Miranda Rodriguez, and he's known for creating the first Latina superhero, La Borinqueña. Through his stories, he brings awareness to the issue of diversity in the Latino community.
When you recognize that you can share with one another our histories, our heritage, our culture, and there is beauty in that. There's so much beauty in living in a society that recognizes diversity. There's so much beauty in recognizing a life that celebrates this rich history that Latinos contribute.
Now Rodriguez is using his art to make a difference in a new way. Teaming up with DC Comics, he created a novel called The Reconstruction to help Puerto Ricans impacted by Hurricane Maria.
It's going to be a book that's going to raise money, and 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards that.
Students had the chance to see his gallery at the R. Haynes Center and get their book signed.
I was just really excited to know that the creator was coming, and I really didn't know what to expect from him in general, but he has just totally blown me away. He's so inspiring. There are people that may not look anything like La Borinqueña, but they can still relate to her because she's dope and doing environmental things in Puerto Rico and stuff like that, and so it's great. It's not just for Puerto Ricans, it's for everyone.
Hispanic Heritage Month continues with more events on campus throughout October 1st. In Chapel Hill, Natasha Laguerre, Carolina Week.
As part of Heritage Month, the Carolina Latinx Collaborative will be hosting a carnival celebration at the Bell Tower Amphitheater on Friday.
And coming up, did the men's soccer team get through the first half of the week with a win? Find out more when we return to Carolina Week.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Today is the beginning of a bright new future for this country.
Live a life on my knee.
The voters are coming.
I am the savior. We are the
I'm Timothy Jones, and welcome to Carolina Week Sports. The third-ranked Carolina Tar Heels took on the 12th-ranked UNCW Seahawks Tuesday at the Wake Med Soccer Park. The Seahawks had the first shot on goal in the 24th minute after the ref awarded them a free kick, but Tar Heel goalkeeper James Pyle dived to save it. Carolina forward Jack Cheyenne scored the only goal of the match in the 33rd minute of play. Boy, look at him bend this ball around and get it in there on the defender. Despite relentless attacks from the Seahawks, the Tar Heels were able to hold on to their lead and survive with a 1-0 victory. This was their 4th consecutive shutout. Goalkeeper Jack Cheyenne was disappointed with the overall performance, but pleased to beat a team like UNCW.
Probably wasn't the best game we've played, but to beat Wilmington and get a shutout is a good thing. They're a good team, so we didn't play our best, but to beat Wilmington's a good thing.
The men's tennis team traveled to Tulsa, Oklahoma to compete in the ITA All-American Championship qualifying round Monday and Tuesday. The Heels dropped both of their doubles matches on Monday, but Brian Cernock won all 3 of his singles matches to qualify for the main draw, which takes place on October 4th through the 8th. The UNC women's team wrapped up pre-qualifying portion of the Rivera ITA All-Americans tournament on Sunday. The UNC doubles teams in the tournament didn't qualify to continue, as well as 2 players who were defeated in singles matches. UNC singles players Alexa Graham and Sarah Davitella, who qualified to move on to the next match, matched up against players from the University of Oregon and Florida on Tuesday. Well, that's it for sports. Brighton?
Thanks so much, Timothy. Car lovers, we've got a treat for you. We're taking you to a place where old cars come to look brand new. Reporter Isabella Ponder has the story.
Jeff Ponder owns Ponder Auto Shop, an auto body shop that specializes in restoring classic cars.
We build cars. It's a pretty common thing. People have a desire for antique cars. You know, mostly I would say 60s and 70s.
Not many people know of the business within classic cars. From car shows to basic restoration and resale, these beauties are an investment.
Somewhat hit or miss. There has to be a great deal of nostalgia and personal investment.
Ponder has been working on hard-to-find cars just like this one ever since he was a child, with the guidance of his father.
I was born in it. We was, our whole family, my father started doing it in 1959, and we basically had to, we was kind of bred in us. We had to do it. So when we get out home from school, we had to do our homework, and then we had to go out in the garage to help out.
Although he's had years of working on these cars, he also someday plans to own his own piece of history.
I want to find me a Mustang before I turn 50, which is next year, a few months, and put it together my own self, help my brother, and call it my own.
With goals like that, it's no wonder Ponder has dedicated his life to turning one man's trash into treasure. In Fayetteville, I'm Isabella Ponder, Carolina Week.
Jeff Ponder is Isabella's uncle, and Isabella tells us that although Hurricane Florence hit Fayetteville especially hard, Jeff's auto shop came out okay.
I have Carolina Week's first ever community calendar where we tell you what's going on outside of UNC. So since it's officially October, we can finally start gearing up for spooky season, and I have found some great events going on this weekend. First, if you want to get ahead on your pumpkin carving, you might want to check out the Hillridge Farm Pumpkin Festival. It's happening literally every day from now until November 4th. Admission is $14, and it includes a hayride and a pumpkin. And when you go, there's live music, food, and all of your favorite fall events, including bonfires on Saturday nights. Next, we've got the Shikori Hills Music Festival going on in Pittsburgh this weekend. You can go any day from Thursday to Sunday. Tickets are $30 to $45 for a single day, depending on which day you go, or you can pick up the full 4-day pass. Along with the 50+ performers, there's also food and local artisans going, and with the beautiful weather we're expecting this weekend, you should definitely check it out. After that, you've probably heard about this one, but the NC State Fair is finally coming to town next week. It runs from October 11th through the 21st. But you might want to keep in mind that our fall break is the second weekend of the festival, so plan accordingly. There are a few events or deals that I want to tell you guys about so you can save. The first is the Friday Frenzy, which is specific to students. You go on October 12th, and you only have to pay $6 for admission instead of $10. The next pass is the Dizzy Pass, and for $31 you get admission into the State Fair any day of the State Fair and all the rides you can possibly ride, hence the Dizzy Pass. The next thing I want to tell you guys about is not an event, but just a really cool organization that is right here in our area. The Carolina Tiger Rescue is in Pittsboro, and it rescues tigers from really unpleasant situations and gives them a second chance at life. So lucky for us, there are tours through the rescue Friday to Sunday. Public tours are $18, but you can also schedule private, twilight, or specialty tours. However, every tour has to be scheduled in advance because they really want to keep it calm for the tigers and give you a more personal look at their lives. That's all I have going on outside of Carolina. Be sure to check out any of these events and be sure to tune in next week to add to your community calendar. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Emily. Wow, it sounds like students really have so much to do this fall all around.
And I've never been to the state fair, so I've got to go this year. I know this is the year, so definitely excited about that. Thanks
It's an
again,
absolute
Emily.
blast. Yep. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.